Hey friends, hope you're having a fantastic day. Corey LaJoie here alongside Ryan Flores. Massive show on tap. But first, it is the week of the Kickball Classic. Coming up Thursday, Atrium Health Ballpark, downtown Kannapolis. You're not going to want to miss it. If you can't be there in person, tune in to NASCAR's YouTube page. It's going to be a blast. Today's show is a blast because we talked to Kyle Larson, talking about him and that 5 cars playoff run so far and what it's going to take to get the big trophy. Connor Hall, winner of the Triple Crown Virginia Late Model Challenge, joins us in studio, drives for Dale Jr. We pick his brain a little bit and have a great conversation. And Zane Smith checking in after that big tumble he had this weekend. All that in the Kansas breakdown coming up on Stacking Pennies. Let's go.
Stacking them deep, selling them cheap.
It tastes like gasoline, rubber, and victory.
We're just out here stacking pennies.
All right, now, buckle up because it is Kickball Classic Week coming up on Thursday, the Atrium Health Ballpark. I'm fired up.
Oh, I'm pumped.
You fired up?
Favorite week of the year.
It really is. It's an action-packed week. Hopefully, if you're coming into town, into Charlotte for the ROVAL race this weekend, you can come in a bit earlier. You can come in on Thursday. About 6 o'clock, we're going to get the festivities going. There's going to be an autograph session with some cats signing autographs, some kickball.
It's the best because
fireworks.
It's so laid back, and you have just everybody just in an element where we get unparalleled access to the drivers at the racetrack, but they're stressed out. They all have media availabilities. There's stuff going on. Crew chiefs yelling at them. All these other things they have to do with the racetrack. At Kickball, they're truly just there to kick the damn ball.
Yeah.
And hope they don't look dumb. So they're having fun. It's been a great event, and one of my favorites of the year. You probably don't get to see the forest through the trees because you got obligations going on. But for me to sit back and just be a small part of it, it is a lot of fun. It's a great time to give back, get some cool autographs, meet some people, and just have an all-around good time with your favorite drivers, media members, and just people from the sport.
Yeah, and if you can't be here in person on Thursday to watch it, you can tune in on NASCAR's YouTube channel. It's going to be on there.
Good news.
What?
I can't kick a game winner off of you because we're on the same team.
That is good news, and that wasn't the plot of the movie this year. Plot of the movie last year was delivered. You delivered to superbly.
Now it is that your team sucks, and you need to go get me and my driver Zane Smith, who's going to join us here shortly and tumbled, to fix your team because he's one of the only undefeated Corey LaJoie Kickball Classic players.
He is the only one that's won every year.
So
this is year 5. Zane has been a part of the celebrity winning team, most of which has been random selection until last year. We did a draft, random again this year. So yeah, hopefully we don't let him down.
By accident, I think not.
I believe so.
Big ride for him. We're gonna have him on later to talk about it. But man, how's your week, man?
Man, it's always a little stressful because there's trying to herd race car drivers. Is you be better off like herding feral cats, trying to get them to do one thing at one time. All these guys are so busy, got a lot of stuff going on, so trying to cross T's and dot I's with this day on Thursday certainly puts a couple gray hairs in my beard, in my chin, but it was cool having an off weekend, watching everybody cut some laps at Kansas.
Before we get too deep,
the ending was incredible. Yeah, before we get too
deep, I want to talk about Alexa. I want to just send thoughts and prayers. See if you guys saw it. Alexa Reddick posted, man, you see these race car drivers and all this stuff and playoffs, and then real life hits. And we had Tyler in here a couple weeks ago, and she posted a pretty vulnerable post yesterday about their baby rookie having
signs of heart
failure, and they just, you never know what people are going through. You don't pile it on because they run bad or this and that, but just wanted to pause and look at real life for a minute and just say, thoughts and prayers to the Reddick family, and to juggle that along with all the pressure of the playoffs and everything he's got going on in his day job. It really just want to think about them. And
absolutely,
if you see them at the racetrack, you see anything, know that these are humans and they're going through stuff.
No doubt. So our prayers with those guys. We talked about that with our kids this weekend, prayed for them last night. So, man, that's tough, man. Anyways, hopefully young rookie makes a full recovery. They get him checked out and get the care he needs, which sounds like that's happening.
Hey, man, on a lighter note, epic prank this weekend. Did you see that?
I did see that.
I just saw that in here. I was wondering what Ryan Preece's motive for that. Here's the video. Let me watch it. I haven't seen this yet. So Christopher Busher.
Next time he's gonna give me some minute rice.
Goes up to Ryan Preece's Bronco and took the door off.
Which, that's the thing with Broncos, right? They're easy to take the door off. You pop those 2 bolts out. But where did he get a cordless snap-on impact that
from
quickly?
the 60 team?
Oh,
he took it from his own team. That's funny.
They set him up for failure.
And he didn't take both doors off, just one.
Doors.
Where did he put the door?
He really was just looking out for him. I bet you that Enterprise guy. When he pulled up, like, what the hell?
RFK, man. We were talking about it last week with Brad. If you haven't heard that, go back and listen to his great interview. But just changing the culture around there, this is the stuff. This is the stuff we need to do. Get the culture moving in the right direction.
Get a little lighthearted laugh.
Their social media team's been having a ton of fun, too, with all of it.
They have been crushing the game.
Who was not having fun this weekend were guys starting in practice. Blaney chunked one in practice. Logano had a flat in practice. McDowell and SVG both got their teams got their PPs slapped going through tech, and they had the crew chiefs.
And I'm assuming what they got caught for. This is me guessing, but where the most juice is the C stays. We've talked about it on the show before.
I heard that they jumped on the splitter after tech.
Jumped on it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
don't do that.
So what the goal is the more smile, the more you can get the outsides of the corner splitter down and the inside up, it puts front downforce in it without adding any sort of balance change. Literally just adds downforce. So it's free speed. The good teams are really good and really sneaky with turning those, trying to get a little extra downforce. And when you get caught, apparently they do not take too kindly to it because they kicked not only Travis Peterson of the 71, but Steve Doran off 70 or 88.
See ya.
So, but then SVG rallies from a stop-and-go penalty, or maybe it was a pass-through or stop-and-go penalty.
It was stop-and-go.
Stop-and-go. Man, right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
But rallied for his first top 10 finish, so good job, SVG.
Good job.
Man, he's starting to come along strong on these ovals. Was the best in-house at Trackhouse this weekend, but he's also been loud in the previous week. He was running the top 5. So don't look now, guys, but he becomes a dangerous weapon if he, in a good sense, in the Australian sense, a weapon.
Yeah, a weapon.
He is a weapon.
Not a peanut.
Not a peanut, but a really sharp, useful, deadly weapon if that guy figures out to be a top 10 consistently oval track guy.
Especially mile and a half.
And we all know that his processing speed and his confidence and his abilities and talents all warrant him developing into a really, really good championship level guy. I really do feel that way, and I think he's on his way to do that.
Absolutely. Rex, Kansas with playoff guys. Rex are early and often. The first one I don't think involved playoff guys, but it came to a head. Spun a contact off of turn 2. What do you got here for us?
This is all 4.
Oh, it's all 4, yeah.
So
60
Ryan
just got
Preece,
tight.
yeah, Ryan Preece gets the kind of slide for life, and you're in the throttle. You're hoping that you can have enough lanes to merge.
Well, you feel bad for John Hunter right now, but little do you know what he's going to do later on. He's got something coming for all of us that no one was prepared for.
He had an axe to grind.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe this was all Ryan Preece's fault.
Yeah, blame it on Preece. So
is that the 2 cars in car?
Look like AJ. That's the 2.
Whoa, playoffs, dude. When you're in the playoffs, stuff like that really makes you pucker.
Yes, it does.
And then there was a.
You tired, man? You in that?
I was working yesterday. I am tired. Working, man. And then, so you see the 60 here wreck, and then speaking of the 2 car, the next restart.
Man, that's just like off of 4. It's like the sun's beating down on it. Just 4, no turn at all. But off of 2 at Kansas is notoriously flat, and you get into like a 4-wheel drift, especially if you're in a bad aero position. We saw a lot of chaos off of 2. First clip, what do we got here if you're watching on YouTube? Okay, so there's another angle of this.
This is the one. Okay.
So this comes from, sure, instantaneously, he slides up in front of the 17, but this comes from, you know, you got a lot more withdrawals than you do deposits in the account. So he slides up in front of the 17. 17 says, I could choose the lift here, but you know what? No, I'm not going to. See you later. SVG. Is this what this clip is?
Let's see.
I appreciate the fact that SVG says, you know what? I've been getting beat around on ovals all year. I'm going to stop doing it.
Yep, you're in the fence.
You're in the fence. Yep.
But he just didn't know that. He just got out of shape, it looks like, on the
Plugged
24.
him in there.
Good thing the 48 was there.
Yeah, he'd have knocked the casino over.
Yeah, what happened to the 8? Here's a video of the 8. 8 had a flat tire late in the race as well.
Yeah.
Here's the 48.
It's up there minding his business. Hardy.
Just minding my own business.
Ah!
Oh.
Oh, my.
Hey, I'm here. I was
Not
here.
clear.
All right, coming to you.
Dang. End of the day for the 48.
So I told our guys, I said, man, there's just always a place where wrecks happen and it gets playoff guys. It's never not been a place where there's playoff drama. I said, it's coming. I don't know when. Here comes this restart, and it all goes to hell. Everybody just trying to go where somebody else isn't. 4-car gets into
Joey.
Ping pong. 22 gets turned around. Big wrecks.
You got to go.
But before this, like the 22 was having a great day, everything they need to do points-wise. Now they leave here just plus 13. Right? The 2-car had a really tough day going. They just couldn't get any trap position, anything going their way. Oh.
Just absolutely smash. He's clear to the middle there, and then he's not.
It was just one of those where everybody goes the same place.
Yeah, that's right.
You're all jockeying around. And
can't lift.
Plug middle. If you plug middle, you're in good shape. If you get... maybe he came up and the 47 was... You got 2 cars, right, on the outside of you. One on your front, right on your front fender, and one on your quarter. And if you just zig and zag, you're keying off of one, the other one goes down, and doink.
Riding along with Austin Dillon. He was through it. The 47 came down the hill, and that was all she wrote.
Lots of crashes.
I think I'm through it, Harry. No! Dang it.
We got Zane joining us in a minute. We'll talk through that one, but this final restart is something that I think everybody's talking about this weekend.
My heart was pumping, man, because Bubba is in a must-win situation to get that 23 team into the playoffs. Now, sure, could anything happen in the ROVAL this week? Yes, but this was his shot to go into the ROVAL knowing he's in the round of 8. Controlled 2 restarts. Needed to get clear here. This is the first overtime restart, correct? This is the last one?
This is the second one. They looked almost identical. 23 is like, I'm driving it in
3
here.
wide and, yep.
Here's what they're saying. Toyota's top 5. Surely we're going to win this race.
So right there, when the 23 crowds the 20, gets them in a tight spot, that's all fair. They never made contact.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
hard racing. Going to 1. Man, he's probably wishing he didn't give Denny the top.
Chase Elliott. Man, I might have a shot at this.
Well, he's on 4. Everybody else is on 2. So he restarted 8th and drove back to the lead. 19 gets into the fence.
Now, ifs and buts. The 23 put it on his door. If he goes and runs the top, he might have a better chance to turn down and get back underneath him, correct?
Yeah.
Listen, last week the 21 gets behind the 12 and everybody kind of knows, like, hey, they're going to do what they got to do. I like the fact that, like, Denny Hamlin owns a race team because he's a selfless race car driver.
Yeah.
And like, hey, yeah, thanks for working for me. Appreciate everything. Get your Christmas ham. I am slide jobbing this car to try to get my 60th win. Like, I only care about me. And that's what I think the best NASCAR is. Like, that's Dale Earnhardt. Screw you. I don't care. We're not thinking about next week. We're not thinking about playoffs. I don't care about your bonus. I am coming in here, sliding you. Because I was like, okay, 23 is going to win. The 11 is going to protect him. Nope. Wrong. So a lot of people are going to hate Denny for that, which is fine. It depends on what car you're on, but I love NASCAR is the best when you're racing hard like that.
There's going to be a large percentage of fans that hate what Denny did there, and yet also want full season points. that even encourages that type of racing even more, of
Does it?
taking care of guys and not.
Oh, that does. Yeah, taking care of guys. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're running full season points, you're not.
You're not going for that move.
Well, and the 23 is not ride or die trying to win because it's
Right.
his season's on it, right? Like, I think Dale had a great. Listen a little bit of his podcast. He was talking to Robin Pemberton. He's like, man, I just miss, like, when my dad wrecked and he was in a points run, like in the middle of the season, I was excited. I'm like, yeah, you got to wait a little bit longer for them. It's just different, right? Like, it's not going to be 10-10s all the time, but this time of year, these races, when it gets to the end of it, you know what's on the line, man, and it is exhilarating. And look, if Bubba wins that race, it totally shakes up all of the playoff scenarios. But with the 9 winning the race, it gives him momentum to the next round that he hasn't had in years.
Yeah.
So, like, this changes everything for them. So now you see, like, oh, he's a contender. The 9, we're up and say, man, the 9 needs to figure out how to win. He needs to be better.
Okay.
Now he's a contender. Now you're like, oh, he's one of the only 2 guys that has locked in the race for has an opportunity to race for a championship. So,
Awesome Chase from the same place. Fire up the sirens.
their pit crew was great. We had a good day, but we had a tough last pit stop, challenging pit stall, and just a couple things. Didn't execute, put Zane back a little bit, and inevitably you feel bad because after you have a rough one and you put your car backwards and they get wrecked, you feel like it's your fault. Not saying it's my fault he got flipped over, but he shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. But let's bring old Zane in here and talk to him about.
Well, hang on. Before we do that, I wanted to ride along because I watched this on social media 5 or 6 times. Just riding with Chase Elliott over a green-white checkered because he went from 8th, and it was incredible. Let's put a little voiceover to this if we got it. Down the backstretch, he's still 5 or 6 back. Guys are going up the hill. You hear him commit to the throttle.
She's
Boom! I'm through it, Harry.
That is what it looked like when Moses parted the Red Sea. Here you go.
Well, the racing guys were shining their favor down on Chase Elliott yesterday. I tell you what. 91% on Gluck's poll.
A good race.
Yeah, of course it was.
All right, hey, I'm going to say it.
Say it.
Needs one race, though, because there was
Yeah.
nobody in the grandstands.
Yeah.
I love Kansas Speedway. I love the finishes. I love everything it has. There's nothing worse to me, could be wrong, than being the best show that nobody saw. Like, it doesn't feel special to me unless the grandstands are full. And we have enough to go around where the grandstands need to be full somewhere else. And I love Kansas. It's such a great race.
Yep.
But it just feels
It's a one-venue
crappy
racetrack.
when there's nobody there. Like, look in the grandstands. It wasn't that there's nobody there, right?
Well, Chiefs are home.
But it
There's
should be
40.
full. I
Yeah.
want it to be full. And when you have 2 races, yeah, like you said, Chiefs are at home, this, that, and the other. It was hotter than hell yesterday in the sun. But I just love it. I think we can go to one race there, and
Where else what do you give a date to?
I don't know. Like, there's plenty of racetracks to figure out. Hell, we can build one somewhere if we want. Like, make one in the street somewhere. You know, there's a lot of opportunity. But I want it to be special when we go there, and it is, right? But I don't
Kansas is a one-race market.
Maybe
and maybe the second date, like I think, is it revolves between 6 or 7 racetracks a year.
Yeah.
It's a lottery system. Once every 5 years, you'll get 2 dates.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not up to me. It's not up
Maybe
to
we
you.
should build a Kansas Speedway somewhere else. Pacific
Where
Northwest.
Joliet, Illinois.
That's like right down the road.
What?
Joliet. Isn't it like everything? Oh, you're talking about Chicagoland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we're going back there, right?
I know.
So
It's going to be good. And I don't think they're very close. I'm not very
no,
good
they're
at
not very
geography,
close.
but I don't
No,
think
they're
they're
not
very
close at all.
But I think that's going to be a great show next year as well. Glad we're going back. Yeah, let's go ahead and get your driver Zane Smith on the show.
That was pretty similar to yours, wasn't it, Corey?
Yeah, Talladega.
Like, I forgot how yours was at
Talladega.
I think it was Talladega. I remember you were up against the fence, but like, did you get stuck on your roof that time, or?
So, smoke coming to the checkered at Talladega, right? Somebody, same thing, right in front of your left front tire, rides up on the wall. Sparks are coming in, dust coming in, all sorts of stuff that there's not supposed to be there. And then same thing, it kind of like back down the hill, and then when it stops, you're just along for the ride, and the last freaking, you're like, oh,
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, for me, I mean, like we were still hauling ass. It felt when I was pinned up against the wall, and at that point, I was just like hoping, man, I don't know who's underneath me, but please do not have someone come flying into my roof right now. And then all of a sudden, like I just slowed down a lot, and I'm like, oh no. I know I'm high up on the banking, and I was honestly hoping it was just gonna slide down on its roof. But then yeah, you feel that initial grab, and then man, I think I only rolled like 2 or 3 times, but it probably felt like 5 or 8 times. And then yeah, man, that last one is just what was so violent. But yeah, violent, crazy wreck.
Is that your first time flipping anything, or just a cup car?
No, in anything pavement. That was my first time flipping.
I remember we were talking about it. We got in the car yesterday leaving, and Webb was like, he was talking about not flipping in one of these the other week. Like, well, check that one off. Well, like,
yeah, that aged well. That aged well.
How slow did it feel, like, to when it happened? Because it was really awkward the way it all went down.
Yeah, so like, I'm getting into turn 3. I mean, I didn't even know like what happened. Like I got hit so hard. I was obviously so hard it made me climb the wall, and I mean instantly just thought, I'm like, man, there must have been a big wreck underneath me, and they all slid up into me. But then after watching it, it was just the 42 that drove through us, and then yeah, like I said, like I honestly felt like I was still ripping like up against the wall, and especially because my head is right by the ground, and I just have a bunch of spraying me in the face. and then yeah, like once I felt myself slow down, like towards the exit of turn 4, like then everything slowed down a lot. And then like after the first flip, I'm like, gosh, please stop. and then yeah, like it just felt like I was like in the air for a while, and then it was the final hit of where it was just like I felt like if I flipped to my right, it wouldn't have been quite as violent, because the right side of your headrest is just like kind of softer and bigger. But man, flipping to my left, it's like that left side of the headrest that you just never used, and it's just harder. And then yeah, that was what kind of just knocked the breath out of me, and then just wrung my head off of it. But fortunately, I'm okay. My body feels fine and whatnot. So
there's like a eerie silence, like right after you come, like you wonder if this thing's gonna catch on fire. You wonder if your fingers and toes working. Like right after it stopped, you're like, okay, I think I'm alive. Now what do I do?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like my body was fine. I'm like, man, thank God, like no one came in seconds back and just the cherry on top and just like cleaned me out after. Like that's what kind of runs through my head as I'm like sliding back down the track, when no brake, no steering, none of that. You can't do anything. You're just hoping for the best. And yeah, was fortunate for that. But yeah, I was surprised, honestly. Like, you kind of think like when you get upside down, like you bang your legs off of the dash or something, and then kind of like that's what hurts. But like with the next gen, we have those pretty much like your seat kind of continues down there to protect your legs, and my legs and everything are fine. So I mean, I just got in call back in slow-mo in real time, and yeah, I mean, it's as violent as it looks, especially that final hit, but fortunately I'm all right.
So, Corey has a great story. When he flipped at Michigan, when he landed, there was a big piece of grass in his lap. Like, you obviously weren't on the radio. You weren't on the radio right after. Where was everything at in the car? Did anything end up where it shouldn't have been?
Man, I don't know. Like, there was like duct work that was like swinging right by my head, and then
was your radio still in the box,
yeah,
or was that out? Water bottle?
No, so like I heard someone like initially like try to key up, and I think it just like ripped radios like clean out. And so like I tried like keying up like I am all good, but just nothing was there. And then yeah, after washing the in car, I have my Celsius water bottle that's just hitting me in the head right away. And then yeah, I mean, the safety crew is there right away. I mean, pretty much before I could even open up my visor, I already had my window net down and they were checking on me. So thankful to them.
It's always subjective on like how and when do you reach out and have a conversation to the 42 or whoever wrecked you in that instance, right? Of like, do you not talk about it at all? Wait till driver intros next week? What do you feel like is appropriate to have a conversation like, yo, what the hell were you doing?
Yeah, you know, I mean, to be at first, like, I'm like, it took me forever to see a replay. At first, like, asked me if I wanted to see a replay in the infield care center. I'm like, yeah, of course. Basically what I saw was like when I was already on the wall. So like, I didn't see what happened before that. And then, yeah, after I get on the plane and whatnot, I obviously then see the interviews or the replays on social media and whatnot, and I'm like, man, I just flat out got wrecked. Like, I mean, completely driven through. And so, yeah, I mean, I know John Hunter well, and I just text him, you know, like, hey, what was the plan there? I mean, I think that was for like 16th or 18th or something. I mean, I don't even know if you do shit like that to win a championship. Like, it was just it was a lot. And yeah, you know, we talked a little bit there. I mean, he yeah, basically owned up to just how he messed up, and that doesn't make it any better. And yeah, he's aware that he owes us a lot now, and he's in debt, and he has to, you know, think about that for the remainder of races. And so yeah, I mean, I have multiple people on my list with that stuff, and you know, some have been able to kind of repay the favor of you know, owing us some. So yeah, I mean, if that's not the case with them, then I guess so be it. I mean, it'll handle itself. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know how much a conversation does with certain people because they've just kind of been that way their whole career. And so, you know, I just put it in my memory bank and repay those moments when the time is right.
Well, at least it's not awkward because their truck is parked right next to your truck in the garage, and that it was like the questions started coming. They're like, "Why is security getting called to the 38?" But Bergenti was just sitting in the back of the trailer, and I think they know his track record, so that's why they sent security over there to be precautionary. But I will say this, man, you and the 38 team, that Yergi and all the guys will. You're going to the front, and to see racing, passing Kyle Larson and doing all the stuff you've done the last couple of weeks, run third at Bristol, the stock is going up. So what do you credit, you know, all this? I wouldn't, you know, you're used to winning. You've won championships, so it's hard to call it success. But when you look at where you're running and your weeks, it's definitely way more successful. So what do you credit to that?
Yeah, I mean, just our whole group, and you know, we've been fortunate enough to have you to where like you've been able to see this, and I feel like we have a really strong group. It's just, you know, we're kind of earning our respect, and there's just been a lot of races this year, and you know, we're gonna chalk Kansas up as one of them where, you know, it should have been easily a top 10 day, and we just get taken out of it. You know, I look back at Dover was one, Indy was easily one, and there's others in there as well. And so, yeah, I mean, we just have a really strong group. You know, I mean, firing off at Kansas, we were really good in practice. Really all the more so like worn out mile and a half, like a Darlington, Miami, Kansas, have been just like great racetracks for us. And we have some more great racetracks coming up. Obviously, the super speedway speed that we have is great. And then, you know, our Martinsville was good earlier in the year. So, We have Vegas in there as well. So, yeah, I mean, I feel good about the races up here, but yeah, it's credit to really our whole team. It's a easy group to get along with and work with, and man, they just all want to succeed bad at this level, and we're getting closer to that. And those runs, like Bristol and 99% of Arkansas, really go a long way, in my opinion. And it's unfortunate that, those ones got to get taken away from us, especially just in those closing laps. I think it was like 12 to go, 10 to go, and we were inside the top 10, and then a caution comes out and different strategies come into play, and then it just gets stupid. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, some of those have been taken away from us, but I feel good about how our team doesn't give up, and we just kind of put our heads down and get back to work.
Well, don't let that outcome on Sunday take any momentum away from that 38 bunch. It's been fun to see you run in the top 10. And also, I want to make sure that your body and your mind are nice and dialed in for kickball on Thursday afternoon. You feeling good about it?
Oh, yeah, dude. We are I'm undefeated so far, so
hey,
I got to
no
keep
big
that
deal.
streak alive.
Well, you're on
We're
my
all
squad.
teammates, right?
Yeah, we
We
are.
are.
Team Celsius. Home
team.
Let's go. We'll put
Hell
some
yeah,
ice
dude.
on it.
That
Pop
was the
some,
OG win we had.
drink some Tylenol. That seems to be the hot ticket these days. So rub some dirt on it. I'll see you out there Thursday.
All right, cool. See you guys soon.
See it.
All right, guys, we're back. Been trying to get him back in the studio. It's a busy man. Please welcome back to Nonsense Garage, Mr. Kyle Larson. How's it going, buddy?
Good. Yeah, it's this time of year is actually not busy for me now, so it's good.
Well,
It's nice.
you're
I'm a cup
locked
guy
in.
now. Yeah.
Locked in. Do you have to tailor back the sprint car stuff a little bit or do you inherently do that? 'Cause,
Yeah, I mean, just kind of
it's-
naturally happens because there's less midweek racing going on this time of year, and High Limit was out in California for a few weeks. Outlaws went out to California for a few weeks, so I didn't want to go out there. So, yeah, it just kind of works out. After Knoxville Nationals, it just slows down for sprint car racing.
Talking about racing California, brag on your kid a little bit.
Yeah.
Big win this weekend.
Big win, yeah, for sure. They flew out to Central California Plaza Park Raceway this week. Owen ran restricted, Audrey ran junior sprints, and they'd never been there. So the second night, Owen got quick time, started sixth in the feature, and drove right through the middle, got to lead, and led the whole race, and did a great job. So that was awesome. I stayed up late watching that one, but I was pumped for him.
What's that feeling like of watching your kids be successful driving?
Well, the other night was great because the competition out there is really tough, and I just didn't nothing against Owen. I didn't expect him. I didn't expect him to do what he did. I'm scanning the track before the race on my phone. I'm like, man, I really think if he can seeing where he starts, man, if he rips the middle here, I think he can get to the lead. But I'm not there. I can't tell him that. So I'm like, he's probably doesn't know that. And dude, he did exactly everything that I was thinking in my head. I'm like, holy smokes, that was smart. And then he just stayed committed to it and won. So yeah, he outdid my expectations, and I'm sure he outdid his expectations. So that just made it really, really cool.
How old is he now?
He will be 11 in December.
But it's been a shift because I remember you coming here 2 years ago and being like, yeah, he just wants to play baseball. He doesn't really give a about racing. And now you got him and Audrey both doing it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's been really satisfying because Caitlin and I had a adult conversation, I feel with him a month and a half ago. So he'd been bugging me to race with him at Millbridge. He'd been doing pretty good at Millbridge this year. Almost won his second, A-class race out there. I don't know if you guys saw the video. Dude,
Smoke the fence.
Yeah. Well, so then he kind of dialed it back a lot after that. I think he's scared of crashing or whatever, but he'd been bugging me to race, and I was like, okay, once I get done with my sprint car stuff and I've got more free time, I'll go race with you. And he just did really bad, not trying. I was just getting really pissed watching him because he wasn't trying and just following people, running the bottom, just not putting any effort into trying to get better either. Doesn't want to run on his iRacing, doesn't want to watch video, doesn't, doesn't want to work. And so after that night, like the whole way home, like we kind of belittled him a little bit, you know, like we're just hard on him.
It's hard as a parent to do that because you're like, the worst is when you kind of belittle them and then they don't take it the way that you thought you were going to, and then you just kind of feel like it.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, it's like a 35-minute drive home.
I could see Caitlin giving it to him even harder than you do.
Yeah. We were both equally like, you know, just basically just telling him like, hey, you know, this isn't just about racing, but like anything in life takes effort.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you don't start putting effort in, like, we're not doing this. Like, you're wasting our time.
And
like,
money.
We don't want to go out there and watch you run in the back. Like, we don't want to, you know, see you not try. But, dude, since then, like, he's been way better. You know, I've been proud of him, you know, because he's been running on his iRacing more. He's been doing all the things that I want him to do, and then it's translating to results. So, it's cool. It's really cool to see. He's like pulling slide jobs now at Millbridge and try, like, you can visibly see him trying. So it's cool.
What do you think the balance is of racing a kid so much to where it burns them out? Is that like objective to each individual
Not in the
kid?
sprint car world.
Yeah, no kidding. No, I definitely think it's a thing, and I'm sure every kid's a little different with it, you know, and what they're into outside of racing. This year, you know, I was looking at Owen's schedule, and he's going to end up running like 51 or 2 races, which I think is a good balance, you know, because some of those is doing double duty, so it's really not that many days of racing. But yeah, I mean, there's kids that do less. There's kids like Brexton who do way more. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's just all dependent on their interests and how involved they want to be and what they're out into outside the car. But, you know, it's a lot for Caitlin. I know probably more than the kids, you know, her having to tote them around, and they've been going to Oklahoma a lot to race this year. So
shout out Caitlin.
Yeah, shout out to
the
Caitlin
kiddos
for
around.
sure. But yeah, it's a fine line. I mean, he's only 10, Audrey's 7. Like, you can for sure burn kids out at an early age. So it's a tightrope.
You went this weekend. You went out to Kansas, shifting gears. You went to Kansas this weekend. You went early to the Chiefs facility. Saw you took a picture with Taylor's boyfriend or fiance there, and Pat Mahomes,
Travis Swift.
Yeah, he's changed his last name. How was that? What was that experience like?
That guy's massive too, bro.
Dude, they are all massive.
Yes,
like,
yes.
I saw my pit crew guys the next day who I think are pretty massive. I'm like, you guys are tiny.
They didn't make it.
Yeah. But no, it was a really cool experience. I had gotten to go to their facility earlier this year during what do they call it, OTAs or something, like their preseason practices. So Brett Beach, the general manager for the Chiefs, he's a huge race fan and a huge fan of mine. So I had gotten connected to him a handful of years back through Chad Wheeler, the simulator guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
the WR1 race?
Yeah, WR1 sim chassis. And yeah, so I had met Brett, I think, once, maybe at Kansas Speedway. He was probably there with Boyer or something. And then I happened to be at the Royals game throwing out the first pitch earlier this year, and I didn't realize they had practice going on. So I texted him like, hey, I'm like right next door. I'll come over or whatever. Well, I ended up going the next day, and he showed me around. It was really, really cool. You know, he introduced me to a lot of the players and got to talk to Andy Reid for 15 minutes or so, and it was awesome. But anyways, during that time there, he's like, hey, when you guys come back for the fall race, like, come back, you know, Pat will be here. We'll get you in the quarterback meeting and stuff. And I was like, well, that's a great opportunity. I want, you know, Cliff to come. Just to see kind of how they operate, how their meetings might look compared to ours. And so, yeah, we were able to line it all up where Cliff came. Rudy is a huge Chiefs fan, so he was pumped. He got to come, and, yeah, it was cool. So we got to meet Patrick. And
he'd be more of a left tackle.
Yeah. Yeah. But, no, it was cool. We got to sit in their practice meeting and you know, kind of see or their meeting prior to practice and see kind of what they go through and what their plan and prep looks like, and then got to go out on the field and watch practice, which was
anything
awesome
stand
too.
out of how they conduct the meeting?
Well, I think what stood out to me the most was that, you know, I don't follow football very closely, and I don't know, you know, what goes into teams and all that, but the prep work that they do all week is so much, you know, like, they're big dudes. Like, I'm just like, okay, you know, they probably have a couple meetings throughout the week and, you know, lift and get big and strong and go hit people.
Yeah.
But man, they have, it sounds like they have lots of meetings, and then it splits up into more meetings and more planning and prep and, you know, the fitness stuff obviously, but just like how much they prepare for one game and how it changes team to team and different defenses, and you know, on the other side of the ball, you know, different offenses and stuff. So, you know, I sometimes I feel like our weeks are long, but I think theirs are longer.
Very
you know? So that was,
Well, they only got 16 of them,
eye-opening.
man. That's like rookie numbers compared
Yeah.
to what we're doing over here.
true.
Is
But
there-
I mean, it's, I don't know. I think when you like factor in like their preseasons
Yeah.
and all that, like their season is actually really long, and that's not something I guess I quite realized until I paid more attention.
So I've got connected to Ty Johnson, backup running back for the Bills, and been up there a couple games, seen those guys practice, and legitimately when preseason starts, you can't get a hold of them until the season's over. It's like those guys are 24/7 locked in.
Yeah, all day long too.
All freaking day long. Did you
there-
get time with Pat?
Yeah, we got to, so it was cool meeting him, like, and you know, as you guys said, like, they're also big. Like, when I see him on TV, like,
He looks small.
he doesn't look small, but he doesn't look big. Well, when he turned the corner, I was like, damn, he's way taller than I thought he would be. But he was
and they
really
go,
cool.
Are all these race car drivers this
I know.
small?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, the O-line walked by us down the hallway, and I'm like,
Oak trees, bro.
like, hey, what's up?
Oak trees.
But no, Patrick was cool. You could tell he has paid attention to some racing, and he has a simulator at his house. So we were talking iRacing a little bit, and that was cool. And then we got to meet Travis, you know, after practice, and he was engaged as well. So it was cool. I typically don't like, you know, doing meet and greets, because I feel like, you know, most of the time you meet people, they don't really care about what we do, but maybe going into like their building, it was you know, good interaction.
That's cool.
Is there anything you take away from like a championship franchise like that? Like, especially right now, right? Everybody's been saying you guys are in a lull, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking for sparks. Is
Yeah.
there anything that you take away from there?
Well,
Be a spark?
and that was cool, you know, having Cliff there. He's been he's always been really big on leadership and stuff and culture, and so he was asking everybody, you know, culture questions and leadership questions, and you know, I think it's just it starts with a good foundation, which I think we equally have at Hendrick Motorsports. So there was a lot of parallels, I felt like, from the Chiefs to how they operate to Hendrick Motorsports. But yeah, I think just having good leadership and maintaining that culture, you know, starts at the top, you know, with a guy like Patrick or me or Cliff, or even above us, you know, with Rick Hendrick. So
he mentioned, you know, the lull, if you will, with the 5-car, because we're used to seeing you compete for wins week in and week out, especially when you go to Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
And then it seemed like you were, what, 3rd to 5th all day?
Yeah, but I do feel like our car potential was better than that.
Okay.
I felt like Denny was lights out the best car, but I thought me and the 20 were kind of neck and neck for second best. I just didn't do the best job on restarts and decision making for those first few laps.
Why didn't the top come in like we're generally used to seeing?
Because I wasn't in the lead. I think it actually would have looked better than it was had I been in the lead. I think I would have been able to kind of maintain a good gap. But Denny was always so strong, he could just get to the lead pretty easily. But I felt like my car was good enough. Had I ever like had control of the race, I really could have maintained control of the race, you know. But yeah, I was just my balance was super comfortable, super close. It was just a little too comfortable, I think, for those you know, first 10 laps. And you know, the Toyotas were so good and could roll, you know, not roll, but carry so much speed throughout the corner, where if I tried to like run that pace, I was just right at the edge of kind of slipping through the fronts. And so yeah, I was never just able to be quite on offense on the short run, and you would make bad decisions and lose a spot or two, and then it takes 70 freaking laps to pass one car. So.
Yeah, and I think what I was getting at it of asking that is like, how much at this point of the year, right? Round of 12, you're plus 54 over the cut line now, going to the ROVAL this week, so looking pretty good.
Yeah,
going into the ROVAL, right? All different things can happen, but how much is it trusting the process of what you guys have done well so far the year, or incorporating new things to like turn the knob up a little bit?
Yeah. I think all of that. I think we've had a lot of change with the 5 team this year. We lost John Edwards. We completely swapped our pit crew. We've had different mechanics move to different teams, and so the 5 team looks a lot different than what it did a year ago at this point. Even going back to March, it's a lot different. So yes, we've had to trust the process through all of that. We've been building. I think we probably rode the wave of the old team there in the beginning, and then we had some not great historical tracks line up for us. We definitely lost some car speed, but I feel like just in this short time of the playoffs starting, we've learned a lot more about our race cars and kind of where they need to be and whatnot. After Darlington was a terrible race for us, and it was great. It was great to kind of go through that, because I think we've learned a lot from that, and now we've been better. We've gotten our short track package better finally. So we've been building slowly. It's always slower, I think, than you want it to be. But yeah, definitely trusting the process through that. And then I think now is the time to take more chances, and I'm more talking about myself kind of behind the wheel. I feel like this round I've always had, it's come down to the ROVAL where I'm like stressed out, and like yesterday, I think I was just very safe in kind of how I ran my race.
Where's the stress level at right now?
Not high. I feel really good at plus 54, but so I think that allows you to have some freedom, and then go into next round and be aggressive like I typically am, and have it work out hopefully.
One of the craziest ROVAL highlights ever in that 42 car. But I heard Steve Letarte say it yesterday on their post-race show, like the schedule just gets clunky throughout the summer, and if you get behind, it's easy to mask that you're behind because the races are weird Pocono. It's like this round, right? Kind of a short track, 1.5 miles, then a road course, right? So like you don't really get a good gauge on your speed, and you're trusting the sim, you're trusting everything, but you don't really know like how hard is it. Brad Keselowski was in here last week. He's huge on practice.
Yeah,
I think he's trying to get more. He's trying to work that angle. But like, how hard is it to pull yourself out of a lull with the abbreviated schedule like we have when we're at the racetrack?
Yeah. No, I mean, us with the 5 team, I don't think we've ever really been in much of a lull.
Which is good, right? Because everybody else is in that. And when you're ahead, it's great.
Yeah. Where, we might have thought we've been in a lull at some points, and it's like, oh, we got out of that pretty quickly. That was easy. But this one's definitely been the longest, I've had. And it's tough, like every week, I feel like we've been getting better, and I'm like, okay, this is the week we're going to turn around. Like, this is a great track for us, whatever the track may be. And then you might have a good race, you might have an average race. But it's always been hard to like just build momentum, build confidence, I think, for all of us, build confidence on like the changes to the car or the upgrades that we've thought we maybe had. And like, yeah, it's just been hard to kind of build that. So, but again, just trusting the process, and Cliff's got a great group of people. We all do at Hendrick Motorsports, and great teammates. And, I just think leaning on each other, leaning on the people.
I flipped on practice on Saturday, and there was a clip of you taking a little nap. I actually used it as a teachable moment for my kid, because Levi's watching. And he goes, "Why is he taking a nap? He's about to go." So I told him this might not be accurate or true or not, but like I always like to close my eyes and like it almost takes a bit of a nap as well. But like to almost lock in, like clear the noise. Were you actually taking a nap before practice?
No, I wasn't taking a nap, but I mean,
you looked a little tired.
No. I wasn't, honestly. I like to. I should have just shut my visor because I forgot that I even had a camera. But no, I really like before I got. I'm just trying to like get relaxed, like get my heart rate down, and
do you visualize much?
And visualize. Yeah, I mean, Kansas is a track that you got to commit, and you want to be able to commit like right off the rip, go turn one, like, all right, I'm going through the front tires here, and you got to like kind of convince yourself of that. So yeah, that was more of all that. I used to, I've always been that way too. I mean, you can ask my parents and anybody, like, I'll be sitting in the staging lane in my go-kart, like, looks like I'm taking a nap. Maybe sometimes took a nap, but yeah, I think more just kind of running through the first few laps of a race or practice, whatever.
Well, you're just getting pulled in so many different directions too, especially as a cup driver, where it's like you get in the car and you're like, thank God, I'm just ready to just drive this thing.
I know. I love the moment of like finally just being able to get in the car. But I mean, during practice, you're not really getting bothered by people, but like the pre-race stuff, it's like a lot, and you're trying not to make eye contact with people and whatnot. And then, after you get done with the national anthem, like I love that moment of getting in and like getting
quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet.
Yeah. Let's talk about just overstimulation, right? Indy 500, probably peak stimulation. Was there any like Indy 500 hangover? Was there like any dent in the confidence over that? How that overall that day went, right? Obviously it didn't go how you wanted it to go. Did the confidence take a shot?
I think, like looking at the results since then, it'd be hard to argue that it didn't, even though I wouldn't necessarily say I felt any lack of confidence. I don't know, but I don't know if it was circumstantial, but like, I mean, my NASCAR stuff took a dip, my sprint car racing took a dip. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue against it.
There's a lot of stuff going on with John Edwards passing away too. Like that affects you.
Yeah, even if you don't like to realize it, but yeah, it was just odd and a weird coincidence that like I said, I mean, NASCAR took a dive a little bit, and my sprint car race, which both were like going so good, like right before that. I mean, I was winning more than half the sprint car races I was running. We were we had led 900 laps and crushing it in NASCAR to that point, and then I choke off that Sunday, and it's been crappy ever since.
Well,
so.
You get to that point too, and you're like, this is easy. This is great. And
everything was going good, but so yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel that way necessarily right after, but then you go 2 or 3 races in a row of like not running good, then it starts like piling up, like, is it me? Is it the car? What is it? So
and how do you just keep your mind focused, right?
Yeah.
And unshakable.
Yeah, and then you feel like you're putting in more effort than you have ever.
Gripping it tighter.
Yeah, and it's like, and you're not running any better. If anything, you're running worse. So it's like, what the heck is going on right now? But again, you just got to kind of stay focused on the process and trust that what you're doing and what your team is doing is the right direction, and you'll come out on the other side. You just don't know how long that's going to take.
So what's going to take for that 5 group, assuming, let's just hypothesize for a second that plus 54 is enough and you have a solid day this Sunday. The round of 8 is what?
Vegas, Talladega, Martinsville.
Up the round of 8 is tough. With
They're all
Talladega,
tough.
but with Talladega being in the middle, like Vegas is everybody's gonna have Vegas.
Yeah,
circled.
I mean everybody's definitely got Vegas circled, but
by the way, way better at super speedways this year. Big.
I know.
Hey,
I'm like,
you finished
not testing the integrity of the safer bears
that's
anymore.
really knock on wood. No, I mean, it's super speedways, and really, I mean, super speedways have been good for us in the last few years. I just haven't finished. Where this year, like, they've gone exactly the same. It's like, oh, the wrecks went that way this time, not straight in front of me. So I actually really like the round of 8. Vegas, I think, is going to be a great track for us. Talladega, hopefully, if it goes like the other speedways have this year, I think we can score good points. And then Martinsville is like oddly our best track, statistically.
Because wasn't that the track where you're like, I feel like that was one of the hardest ones?
Oh yeah,
for
it
you
still is. But yeah,
what about it?
Everything.
Dude, it's so
the corners.
Yeah,
the straightaways, a little bit all of it.
Yeah,
the car just doesn't want to make the corner.
I don't know. I mean, you guys go good at it, but I just think Martinsville has always been a struggle for me. It takes me 300 laps to like get into a rhythm there, where we could go to Kansas and it's like I could literally look at no data, no video, no nothing, and I can go and like, yep, that's the feel I want. We're good. Where I think just like growing up sprint car racing, you're not slowing down for a corner, and I just don't know how to slow down.
Dude, Corey talked about that when Austin Dillon won Richmond. I was like, man, how the does Austin Dillon win? Like the hardest track that we go
always
to.
good
And
there.
Corey said no. He's like, a lot of these guys, Hoceval or you, like Blaney, drive the car to the full max potential, full commit, and like his feel is more like the old car where you're saving tires and you're keeping the car on the track. He's like, so it works out that way. And I was like, man, that I never even thought about that with how this car races.
Well, if you're on 97% of the tire grip, you're going to qualify 22nd and be mired back there all day.
Yeah. And I think that's where, like, you look at, like, Chase, he doesn't typically, outside of this weekend, he doesn't qualify good. I think it's because, he's got that short track kind of feel of being just under the limit of the tire, which is great for short track racing and all that. But, it's hard to extract it, on those faster places. But that's where, I think the flip side is where I struggle on the short tracks is for one, even though I don't feel like it, I'm probably over driving. But I also, you've seen SMT and whatnot, so and you're really good at. But I feel like the short guys who grew up late model racing and like you guys make up all your time like decelling at a really quick rate without being over the limit of the tire, and that's where I'm like, I really struggle with the short track. Like, where's the center of the corner? I hate like, oh, you're over it. Well, where is the center, Cliff?
I
don't even know. Is the center over here? What are you talking about? Like, that's the feel I don't really have on short tracks. So that's where Martinsville is a struggle for me, and it really takes me a while to get into a rhythm there. I'm always like trying to search for this style of driving that I really look at like Chase or Blaney or whoever. Like, you just look at their brake
Chase
traces.
is really good at it.
Yeah, you look at their, like, my brake is like a perfect triangle, and there's like like off the brake and trail, and I don't even know what that feels like in my foot. So that's where the short track stuff is difficult for me.
I wonder, I was thinking about this yesterday, like mid-race, because I got Larson's coming in. What should we talk about? And I think about your perspective. I think your perspective could be unique with being on the promotion side with high limits. You guys have done a lot, and it's been really cool to watch that grow, and it's really great to watch those races. People pile it on NASCAR bad, like with the playoff formats and the races and stages. Like, it's everything, and it's coming from all angles. Has your perspective changed on that since taking the promoter's role, on like how all of that works?
I would say as you just grow up kind of and get more experience, and then now having the experience on the series side, it's like, you have to trust that like NASCAR's got their own vision that that you might not even be thinking about, that's gonna grow the sport. So I would say more on that side, where it's like, as competitors and drivers, we think we know what's right, but we don't. And I think you have to trust what the series has in mind to grow the sport and make it, whether it be the most entertaining or successful, whatever you want to call it. So I would say I'm less involved, like I'm less outspoken, I feel like, in the NASCAR side of things these days. I still speak up in the meetings that we have a little bit, but I think I have more of a trust, I guess, for what they've got going on.
Have you had the situation where people come to you pissed off, wanting something changed, or they don't see the forest through the trees?
No, because I'm not like as involved, in the sprint car or the high limit stuff as say Brad would be. Brad would be that guy, I'm sure, that everybody's going to. But I got to sit in the owners meeting that we had in Knoxville, and which I'm never in town for any of those, like even when I had an outlaw team, but everything was positive. So I was kind of surprised. I was like hopeful that like there was going to be topics brought up that people were concerned about, and you get us brainstorming and whatnot. But it seems like everybody's pretty happy with what we have going on, at least from the ownership side on
charters.
So
charters are a thing you're trying to.
We changed the name to franchises.
Okay.
Charters got in NASCAR like tainted.
They're a little taboo at the moment.
But that's
everybody's happy about that. And
so you have that. You've awarded franchises to your race teams.
We've been awarding them, but it's getting implemented next year. It's starting. So but it's just kind of a way, as my time being spent in NASCAR, like, you want these teams to be valuable and at least have some sort of asset if they ever sell out. Like a Michael Waltrip Racing was a great team, but when they went out of business, like, they were only worth what their equipment was. So
I bought the equipment at auction.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of what on a much smaller scale to what NASCAR is. We're trying to do what's right for the team and have more guaranteed pay and help them plan their years out better.
Is that guaranteed spots in AA as well?
Yeah. Yep. But it's, really like the franchise is, it's just a restructured way of like the point money and tow money.
Yep.
And you having it be more guaranteed so you can see and plan your year. And but you're still racing for purses, and the purses keep growing and all of that. So sprint car racing as a whole is in a really good spot right now. So I'm really happy about that and feel like we've made a good impact.
I agree with that. How about Dale Blaney this weekend?
Dude, awesome. Yeah. I love Dale.
62 years old.
Love
Yeah.
Dale.
I mean, I was talking to him.
Them damn Blaneys, they're racers, man. They're
I
good.
love Dave
Man.
when they went and interviewed him, and he was like, they're like, man, you came with this crazy car. Compete with the Outlaws, you think you win? He goes, yeah, that's why I did it. Like,
I didn't even
he's
see
like,
you sit there.
yeah, that's why I did it.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, thanks. Like,
I was talking to Dale at Loudon because he drives AJ Allmendinger's motor home. That's wild. Like one day he's pumping.
Yeah, he was
the
at the
next
track
day's
yesterday.
winning the Outlaw. He was at the track.
Yeah. Had
The
his
oldest-
victory lane hat on.
the oldest
That's
World
awesome.
Outlaws
61.
winner ever. I didn't think that. I was like, man, surely Sammy or Steve
Yeah, no.
won.
No.
Shout out
He
Dale
had.
Blaney.
I wonder, did he break Dave's record? Because Dave is older than him, right? And
guess.
Dave only won a few years ago.
Yeah.
At the same race. So
Dude, he's got great stories because like he never grew up racing. They were just like, all right, go race a sprint car. Because
he was
dad,
he was
like,
a basketball guy.
yeah.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like 6'5". I don't even know how he fits in a sprint car.
That's the best part about short track racing, and that's why I love what you're doing because like you miss out on those relationships going cup racing because it's so busy.
Yeah.
But just knowing guys like that and being around them, and like there's so many cool having Connor Hall in here and having you guys meet for the first time before you came on. It's just like bringing everybody together, man. It's so cool. We're all the same.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah.
Working for it, striving for it. So hopefully we wish you and the 5-team Cliff Daniels best of luck going to the ROVAL this week. What do you think? What's the should I sprinkle a couple bucks on the 5 car or what? You feel good about it?
I don't know. We were lights out there last year, but
Can you beat SVG?
we did last year. But
Hey.
no, but I feel like this year, they've gone to this softer tire on road courses, and since we did that, I in particular am not as good. I think I just load the tire, a lot like the short track stuff. I think I just
And burn 'em off?
naturally abuse the tire, even if I feel like I'm not. But we just haven't had a clean road course all year. Super speedways and road courses took a swap for me.
Is an American ever going to win a road course game? What the hell are we doing?
Dude,
Who's going to
I don't
beat this guy?
Our faith is in you, my friend. Did you
Yeah.
get to meet Checo last week? I saw Checo at the
No, I
simulator.
didn't.
I was simming the truck, and Checo was
Did
in
you
there.
meet him?
Like from me, what's his name?
Colby.
Colby from like me to Colby. I was like,
Yeah, we
hey
beat
man,
Colby
that's
up in-
Checo. He goes, like Simon Pagenaud's in there. I'm like, dang,
Okay.
star-studded lineup
Huh.
today. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
I want
I'll
to
see
check
that.
out that F1 sim deal. It'd
Maybe
be
you
cool
know
to burn
somebody
some
over there.
laps in
That would be cool. Take a video when you do it. I'd be
Yeah.
curious. Because you did the McLaren sim, right?
Yeah, I did. The oval stuff was whatever, but I did. We ran Mid Ohio for like a couple hours, and that was fun. I thought I was doing good, and then Felix Rosenquist came in and got in it and was way better.
Like seconds probably.
Oh yeah, like 2 seconds probably or something crazy. And what was wild to me was like I thought I was freaking slamming the brake, as hard as I could, and they're like, yeah, you're getting closer. I'm like, well, how much more do I need? They're like, oh, like 1,000 more pounds of pressure.
Oh,
It's like, what? Oh my god, like I can't do that.
But those things don't have ABS, do they?
I have no clue.
I don't know.
So who, like talking about seeing Checo and getting started, like who do you see and like you get a little starstruck over, like other, like is it like Mario Andretti or
Racers?
Yeah, like is there anybody that you're like?
I respect like everybody. I wouldn't say I get starstruck.
Well, like a Wolfgang. Is there any
Yeah.
old school guys, or like who is it to you? Like who's your? Everybody talks about
Yeah,
Kyle
yeah.
Larson being the greatest, right?
Yeah.
Like who is your Mount Rushmore of race car drivers?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, Mount Rushmore race car drivers.
Any series, anything ever.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Gordon was always my guy growing up. So
All right,
I'm
we'll give
sure
you
I
that
was nervous
softball.
meeting him.
We'll
I'm
give you
sh-
that softball one.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure I was nervous meeting
He's
him
gonna buy
for the
you lunch
first time
this
back in the
week 'cause you
day.
said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, but Tony was that guy.
Talked to Tony last week. I don't know how he's reverse aging. What is
Yeah,
going on
It's the-
there?
it's in the nitro,
Like
bro.
it's the nitro.
It's the
It's
nitro,
like those
yeah.
guys, like John Force. Like,
yeah,
what
that's
in the
right.
world?
But I don't know. I was always I loved, I liked Joey Saldana, Jack Hodenschild. And obviously, I knew from an early age, like, I wanted to be versatile. So Mario, Parnelli, like, I definitely idolized kind of those guys and what they did. But I don't know. I don't get, like, starstruck or nervous meeting them or anything like that. But
or just excited, I guess.
Yeah, I guess more nervous, like, meeting a Patrick Mahomes this week because, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Stuff like that, is more nerve-wracking to me. Like, racers getting together, like, you talk racing.
Talk shop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love watching that spring. Like, I wonder, like, the kid who won Knoxville and then followed it up.
Ryan Timms?
Like,
yeah.
Like, I love watching kids like that, like, pulling for kind of underdog.
Yeah.
Right? Like, is there anybody that you see coming up that you watch that you're keeping your eye on? Other than Corey Day. Obviously.
Yeah, Corey.
Ryan Timms is impressive.
Yeah. No, he's been killing it this year. Their car is really, really good, too. That was awesome to see him. I can't imagine being 18 or whatever he is and winning $190,000 and winning the biggest race of the year, and then backing it up, winning Tuscarora.
I forgot you were in that race because they went to his crew chief and they're like, "How's it going?" It's like, "I think we're good."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Is he nervous?" Like, "Nope, we're good." And he just walked away.
Yeah, no, I thought that was cool too. Their team was like prepared, and ready and confident. But yeah, he's good. I have no clue if he wants to get to NASCAR or anything like that. The money's getting so much better in dirt racing. Like, I think a lot of those guys are like, why
keep
would
selling
I?
shirts and winning races?
A lot of them guys make more than what Cup guys make. So why would they want to? But
They don't get dirty.
Huh?
They don't have to get dirty.
Yeah. Race
Well,
less.
I think I'll give you more credit than what you'll probably take. But man, you and Brad Sweet have certainly turned the knob on sprint car racing, dirt racing in general. It's been cool to watch. Keep up that good work. And again, good luck to the 5 team. Roll this week and your playoff chances.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. More Stacking Pennies coming up right after this. Whew. Talking a lot of fellas today, buddy.
We are.
We got a couple woes to break down. Pit road boats and woes. First up, what do we got?
We got Reddick's bad pit stop. I haven't seen this, but this is a hell of a view. Go ahead and run the tape.
Watch on the right side. Crew jug goes over, right side up. Watch
Normal right side
the
stop.
back here. What you're gonna see is the jack go
Okay,
down,
they
the
dropped the
track,
jack. He hit it. He didn't feel good about it. He stayed there. Man, it's tough to tighten it on the ground, but he felt all right about it.
They came back down, I believe.
Did they come back? Man, you can't leave. You think the right rear's loose, man, you got to stay there on it. Yeah, they've already lost it. They've lost the track position. They come back down. They do discuss. Oh, no.
Not understanding that Chris ROVAL was 2 tires leaving this quickly. Almost contact. They both did a good job of working this out.
Yeah, it was a good job not crashing, but these are the snowballs of a day.
That's right.
Here, 4 tires and fuel, most likely around the 20. Stop at normal. Clear. If the 20 was taken 2, that's what needed to be said. It is what was said. The 20 is taking 2, he'll be gone. We got to check up for him. 10-4.
Yeah, like we said, Tyler's got a lot going on right now, and it just gets compounded.
I don't know, but what I heard was he's taking 4. We're coming around the 20. That's
Possibly
exactly
coming around the 20.
the opposite of what they told him.
But these clips are cut, so you don't really even know. So we can't sit here and speculate.
Yeah, true.
What happened? Says Chris Bell had a slow stop.
So this is pit entry and then a slow stop.
Okay, so this is pit entry. Oh, gosh, he was like 10 car lengths deeper. Oh, that's tough. Coming around the 34 when they're leaving, you're all kind of checked up. Don't know if you're jumping. Darrell didn't jump. Rewind it a little bit if you can. Let me digest this. So, yeah, they come around the 34. Darrell doesn't jump because he gets kind of caught between the mayonnaise and the mustard, and he's got to get out there. That's tough. As a jackman, if you don't commit, then you're
behind.
Screwed. Well, you're just not going to get there, right? You're the first one that's going to get clipped. So, man, that's tough.
But if he commits, hypothetically, if he commits and the 20 gets turned, He's the first one also getting wiped out.
You're in a bad spot. Yeah.
You're
looking at it, when you look at film, you could say one way or the other what was right, what was wrong. But
I would say he lives to fight another day. Yeah.
To the 11 team, so this issue stems back to the issue they had at Bristol. Their wheel fell off at Bristol on a pit stop where wasn't even like a competitive pit stop. So they deferred the penalty for their front changer and their jackman to this week. So they went to New Hampshire with their normal guys, but these guys have to serve a 2-race penalty. They've made it to where you can defer it a week. So this week they have Thomas Hatcher, exceptionally champion of the sport, front tire changer, won a championship with the 22 team, been around a long time. He usually changes tires on the number 4 of Noah Gregson, who's been a great pit crew this year, and their jackman as well as Nate McBride, who has played football at Georgia. He's an absolute stud, but he has never really been in race-winning situations yet. Great jackman, but just hasn't had these pressure-packed situations where like, hey, man, we're going to win this race. Just put right sides on it. Then he comes down, and Nate missed the jack stop, and he kind of got hung up. Then goes to jack the car, misses it. Then the plate's up. You got to loosen it, get it back under there, set it, and it just takes him forever. And this is inevitably what costs Denny a lot of spots. You know, if he gets back the lead early, he just drives off and wins this race. So these guys are going to be having a hard time sleeping this week. You know, this is like one of those situations for Nate. He's going to be doing this a long time. He's a young jackman. But you want the smoke, right? You want the ball. And then you get the ball and you drop it and you're like, damn it. You just want it again. Like, you want to get back to the racetrack. You're like, I know I'm better than that. I've done this before. Or you're like, I'm an idiot. Why do I do this job? I hate this. You know, like it just depends. You have all these emotions of just like, everybody's looking at me in this place. I'm such an idiot. I suck so bad. They told me I sucked. Like, yeah, or you know, you're like, I just want another shot. I want to go back to practice. Like, I'd be in there today practicing.
Yeah.
Just like, I need to get something done. But
get the bad juju out.
Just do something to prove to myself that I'm worthy of this job. Dogs of the week, man.
Who's worthy of the dogs of the week?
Second week in a row, the 9 team is crushing it. P1 again, they go to victory lane this week. They are peaking at the right time. And front changer Nick Odell, he's been around 25 years. He's been on all great cars, won championships, won a ton of races. Same as their rear changer, Calvin Teague. He was part of that 5 crew swap to the 77. Then he got pulled back off the 77 onto the 9. He's won championships in 5 lug nut with Jimmy, 1 lug nut with he hasn't won a 1 lug nut championship. No, that's all been Penske, but yeah. Won a lot of races with the 5 car, and he's back on the rear of this thing. TJ Semke, Jackman.
That guy's a monster.
Yeah.
That guy's yoked.
Jared Esprimer is their tire carrier, and John Giannato, fueler, all led by Alan Gufferson. Alan has, I really love, I mean, people might be thinking I'm speaking because of pit crew changes for me, but like, Alan has kept this team together through thick and thin. He lets them ebb and flow. He's got a really mature team. He trusts these guys, and pit crews always go through peaks and valleys. And like we talked about last week, as we get more football guys in the sport, they love making changes. You used to never make pit crew changes much at all. You'd have their guys that you ran with all the time, and something had to be really bad to make a change. But now it's like, let's just try to get a cat. Let's try to make something happen here. And Alan's like super against that. He never makes many changes unless he needs to. And that's why his race team, I think, runs so well. And that's why these guys have all been in these pressure cooker situations. They've all been in deep playoff runs. He trusts them. He knows the cadence, and they are pros, man. They show up when the time is needed. That's why they're
something to be said about the consistency of doing it for years with the same group of. You understand their body language before they even say anything.
It's huge.
You know.
One of you, dude. This is. I tell everybody all the time. This is just finding 4 other guys you like to ride around a minivan with, and you do. Everybody's capable of doing the job.
Yeah.
So, we got some penny for your thoughts questions. Let's run through them quick. We got a bunch.
Eliza Dunn says, hey, tell Zane that's not how you do the Hail Melon.
That is not how you do the Hail Melon. Wonder if he should have throttled up there. With Kansas being consistent, how are we feeling about Chicagoland next year? That's from Vegas, Jeff 33. That's
going to be great. It's going to be great. Slide job. We're going to see a couple slide jobs there next year.
Is carbon fiber dust toxic? asking for Zane Smith, why are the neck gaiters optional?
So carbon fiber certainly smells toxic. If it's burning, it does not smell good. So you have two options. You have to wear one or the two options, or you get a large fine. Ask Ryan Newman. You have to either wear the helmet skirt, which is on that helmet over there. It's kind of tucked in there. It's just on the bottom of the helmet, and it just connects the bottom of your helmet to your fire suit, so no fire and all bad stuff can get in there. Or you wear baraklava?
Was it not a head sock?
Head sock?
Yeah, head sock. You call it a baraklava?
I think that's the technical term.
That's from where?
It's just,
what are you,
it's
F1
impossible.
racing?
It's impossible to look cool if you're wearing a head sock.
Especially when you take it off. You got like the raccoon eyes.
There's certain guys out there that not only do they wear a head sock, but they wear a nose strip. That's not a good look.
Face paint. Should have asked Brad about that last week.
Should have. I don't think he's a helmet skirt. I'd rather go helmet skirt eye black than head sock
nose strip.
Nose strip.
Okay.
Can't do it, bro.
All right, cool.
I mean,
I'm going open face helmet, bubble goggles.
What?
How the hell did the car get onto its side that easily? It looked like typical car riding another into the wall. That's the Zip 01. Man, it just looked like the 42, just like the way that the momentum carried them, and right where they hit at that part of the corner, it was just perfect to get up that way.
It's a 3,700-pound piece of metal going 180 miles an hour. Stuff unforeseen usually happens.
Oh, this one says get parts of that car for the silent auction this week. You can probably ask Zane.
I believe that's Brandon Barbecue Brandon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Teresa M54. How close was Bubba to the start-finish line? Do we need to get away from green-white checkers? The 11 was the best car. I thought the finish was great. And obviously, if you want the best car to win, that's not always the case. And
nor has it ever been the case.
The guy that you didn't want to win. See, this is what we need to stay away from. Not to hound on you, Teresa, but what we need to stay away from the sport is trying to change the sport to get who we want to win to win.
Yep.
Right. Like the rules are the rules. Everybody's racing for the.
That's right.
For the.
At the end of the day, somebody buys a ticket for an exciting finish, and finishing a race under yellow is not what we want to do.
Yeah. Alex_McCullough. Corey, worst part of a rollover crash, the start of the flip or the final landing crash? You talked about this a little bit earlier.
Yep. Definitely the final. 100%. The start's nice and soft. When it stops, that's when it hurts.
Any penny stackers this week?
No.
I had Sean Wood. Carl Edwards, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu teacher, was out this week. Got the our coach, the sensei, bow to your sensei.
The sensei.
It's good to see him hang out, show him around a little bit what we do.
Carl was in studio here this week. We didn't get a chance to sit him down and talk shop, but he did sign the wall. He was here. We mounted a seat in his son's GR Cup car. He is captaining. So Bubba, it's Beck's first birthday party that night, so he is out. So I swapped Carl Edwards for Bubba, or Bubba for Carl Edwards. So we upgraded.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Shout out. A couple other shout outs. Brandon Jones, Xfinity Race, went in and watched the CW kind of broadcast on Saturday. There's a lot going on there. Brendan Queen wins the ARCA race. He's going to be the champion next week if he just starts at wherever the hell they race at. Shout out to Steve-O.
Yep.
He's making just race car drivers famous, man.
He really is. He was a large part of my career. He was the only guy here at the shop that was doing the all-nighters with me, working till the wee hours of the morning. It's cool to see his success continue.
It makes me happy to see him on TV.
I know. He's lost some weight, thinned down, looking like a
crew chief.
Looks like a championship winning crew chief up on the box.
Toledo is where the last race is. Landon Templeton wins the Valley Star Credit Union 300. We got Connor Hall joining us. We'll bring him in here.
All right, guys, we're in. It's not often we get to talk to regional guys, but we were trying to sprinkle that and have that more of in our show because there was Tyler Ripkema last week winning that modified race in New Hampshire, or Connor Hall, driving for the Junior Motorsports Late Model Division, is the Virginia Triple Crown champion after this weekend's race at Martinsville. So welcome to the Nonsense Garage, buddy. How you doing?
Good. How are y'all?
Good, pal. First off, congrats. There was a pretty cool picture swirling around the internet of you in a throne on the front stretch of Martinsville.
Yeah, me and my Burger King hat.
You didn't look too pleased.
Man, it was just such a mix of emotions, and I've gotten a little bit of flack for it.
Have you? Who gives you shit for it?
Just Twitter, mainly.
Yeah, well.
And I understand. I mean, for your average viewer at home, you see me get out of the car and get handed a $20,000 check, and like most people would be like, "Man, that's so awesome." But like, man, I was there to compete. I wasn't there to run just good enough. I was there to go home with the Martinsville clock, and that was goal number one. Goal number two was if we were having a bad day, maximize our effort to win the Triple Crown. So just kind of a mix of emotions.
Well, you said you just got shuffled from 5th to 11th on the last restart, so you're like,
still pissed.
I'm over this.
Yeah.
Thanks for the check.
Yeah, but like I said, it was an awesome event. It's just that is the pinnacle of late model stock car racing, that and Wilkesboro, and just those are the two that I feel like I haven't really knocked down yet. So every time you come up just a hair short, it's obviously a pretty big bummer. What
is it about Martinsville in particular? Because the Valley Star 300, the biggest late model stock race of the year, it's kind of like, is it fair to say it's the Daytona 500 for late model stocks?
100%.
Okay. How much prep work, because you are full-time Cars Tour guys, for the audience that might not know much about Conrad Hall, are you leading points? Where are you at?
Second in points now.
Second in points in the Cars Tour. Driving for Dale Jr.'s number 88 Bass Pro Shops car. It looks sick. And this is the guy you always have to go through if you're trying to win one of those races. How much work and emphasis goes towards Martinsville?
I would say if it takes a week to prepare for your average Car Store race, I'd say probably a good 2.5, 3 weeks to prepare, like to truly prepare a perfect car for Martinsville, just because it's kind of a little bit, it's a little bit bigger of a track than we're used to. So obviously, there's some aero that we don't always normally see. There's a grip level that we don't see hardly at all either. I mean,
a lot of grip.
Yeah, that's the only concrete surface we go to, and it's a different set of rules than your Car Store stuff. So you have different shocks, you have a couple different little intricate things that you have to make sure you don't accidentally cross over and get hung up in tech on something as simple as there's carburetor rules that are slightly different, just things that you can definitely get complacent on by running the Car Store full time, or running NASCAR full time, jumping back and forth. You have to make sure you have all those I's dotted and T's crossed.
Do you wish they were the same? This is your bid.
Yeah, I think they're pretty close, but I think that they could get just a little bit closer to make it not necessarily easier for someone like you take Junior Motorsports, for example. We're gonna run both series when we want to. We have the resources to do so, but you go to, for example, me 5 years ago when I was just running weekly stuff at Langley and other little local tracks, and to go to those Car Store races, I had to rent a pair. It's not that I have to, but if you're gonna go do it right, you got to rent some shocks, because they have different. You can take advantage of more lenient shock rules. You can run different exhaust systems, just things that you normally wouldn't do at your local track. That you obviously, if you want to do it right, you have to go try to win a Car Store race.
There has been a merge to get closer, though. It seems like it's been good, but man, it's fascinating to me. We went and did you ever run that race?
What?
The Martinsville late model stock race?
No.
Corey's late model stock career was brief.
I only raced it like maybe 10 races. A couple of them are Rockingham.
I went with Brandon McReynolds went and worked on his car there, and I've always been fascinated, man. I feel like I've always wanted to do like a TV show that goes to like the biggest short track races, because like Super Dirt Week at it's at Oswego now, but it used to be at Syracuse for big block dirt modifieds, or you go to like the Knoxville Nationals or Snowball Derby or New Hampshire's modifieds. Like Martinsville for late models I can't explain. Like you go cup racing, everybody thinks cup racing one thing, but like the competition there and how hard it is to win that race. I think out of all of those that I mentioned, that might be the hardest race to win and even make it into.
I haven't gotten a chance to run those. I'm trying my best right now to put together a Derby ride, but I would say next to the Derby, I would definitely say that the Valley Star Credit Union 300 definitely seems to go kind of tit for tat with the Derby, just because making the show is half the battle, and then the other half is just making it to the end, and then having the brakes, having the front end still on it, having the car handling good enough just to where you can go fight for the win. But I think all those are obviously the kind of the biggest of their platform, but I definitely think that the late model stuff probably is the tightest for sure.
Talk to me a little bit about your boss, Dale Jr. How much is he involved in that late model stock program? Because it seems like he is an absolute love with short track racing.
Oh yeah, I think if he could have ventured off and gone late model racing probably 10 years before he did, he would have come back running with open arms. He is truly enthralled and in love with the sport and racing at the local level. And I think that like everything that you see about him on the internet when it comes to running, like his love for short track, is honestly like an understatement. Like he is wound up, wants to late model race, wants the Carter's Tour to thrive, wants NASCAR Weekly Series stuff to thrive, because it all has to exist together, because one won't survive without the other, in my opinion. But I mean, like this, for the example, he's racing this week at Tri-County with us. He'll be there at least 2 full days at the shop. He wants to see his car go on the plate. He wants to hold the tape measure. He wants to put it on the scales. He is a part of every single part that goes on with that 8 car.
So you work there full time? You build the cars, and
Yes.
that's what you do?
Yep.
How many guys you got in the shop there?
I believe we're 4 full-time guys, 1 part-time.
You were telling me a little bit too. You live with Nick Payne, spotter for Tyler Reddick.
Yep.
Oh.
Right here in downtown Kannapolis, so you're getting the full taste of Dale Earnhardt lineage. If
Oh
you
yeah.
will.
Yep. Get my Cannonballer games in. Get it all in.
Love it. And so we often talk to the guy, whoever's sitting in that chair is usually in a Cup Series, right? It's been Zane Smith, Kyle Larson, all these guys, right? And once you do it for a job, inherently the love of it dwindles. It's just how it is when it's like not like when you do it for a job, you love it less. It just becomes your work instead of a hobby. But you are chasing, like, what is the dream that Connor Hall is chasing, and what gets you up in the morning to like go work on a late model stock, to go try to win clocks, to win Triple Crowns and the like?
Yeah, I would say the end goal would obviously be a cup opportunity. That's everybody's Cinderella story. But I think I've kind of refined it as I've gotten older and I guess a little bit more mature. Is I want to wake up every day and be able to go to work and do what I love and not have to worry about. I want to be financially sound enough doing what I love to not have to worry about paying the mortgage, being able to afford a good Christmas for my family, and I don't want to work a normal 9 to 5. Like those are kind of like my 3 things. So like that's why when I got offered this, I was like, I have to try this, and like drop back, fully punted, quit my job, left home state, girlfriend's back in Virginia. Like I completely sold out on this, and fortunately I think it's paying off, and hopefully with what's to come it does.
So you've already dipped your toe into the National Series waters with the truck race at Richmond that you run top 10 first debut race. So congrats on that. A couple ARCA races, what I see, Daytona, maybe Michigan, some others.
Yeah, I ran Daytona twice, did a kind of start and park TV deal at Michigan, and other than that, just that one truck race.
So how often do conversations spin up? Obviously, a lot of it's probably financially dependent if you can put together the partners to go do it. But how often are you like out there seeking what the next progression looks like?
I would say perhaps not as much as I should have been. Within the last month, I've been, I would say, going way harder at it than I ever have. And fortunately, I think that's what's kind of helped my next year plans to come to fruition. And everybody, especially Dale, he's like, nobody's going to sell you like yourself.
1,000%.
He's like, you got to go beat on doors and sit in office chairs and meet with the right people and do this and that. And I was sitting there and I'm kind of like, like, yeah, right. Like easy for you to say kind of thing. Like, because, I mean, you're very well aware, like, the financial situation for our sport is, like, 95% of what it takes to make these things go. And my whole younger career, like, once I started winning some stuff, you'd get that, oh, you should come run this race for us. And I'm like, oh, heck yeah, like, I'll come do that. What do I need? Suit, helmet?
Nah, $100,000.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, truck race, $135,000. And, like, that's why, like, when I got that opportunity with McAnally last year and, through I kind of grew up admiring the work of Charles DeNike, and he was my kind of intro there, and it was a financial situation where it was very doable and like compared to other opportunities. So,
Yeah.
you know, those are kind of the opportunities I've been seeking for and trying to make the most of. And like I said, I think as much as I hate to admit it, I think Dale was 100% right, because when my stuff for next year does eventually come out, I mean, it was 100% based on knocking on the right door at the right time and meeting with the right people.
Can you break some news on the show?
I'm not late model racing again.
Okay.
I am part-time. I gotta go back to the Valley Star Credit Union 300.
You gotta get a clock.
I will run that race until I'm 100 years old, until I get a clock. And I
So are you running something that's gonna be on television? Not flow?
It'll be on television.
Not boats like your father.
Nope, boats are done.
So
is it gonna have a tailgate?
Let me,
I don't know.
before Corey puts you in a bad spot here, let me ask you this, because it's something that is just interesting to me. So you sold out, you moved down here to do this. You've been running the car store. The car store's changed in the last couple of years, seeing a new ownership group come in. How do you feel the car store does now, getting you prepared for the next step, which is one of the national series?
I would say the competition prepares you honestly more for what you're about to go do at the next level than necessarily like the racetracks we go to, if that makes sense. Like, I just don't think that you'll ever have tighter racing. Like, take truck qualifying, for example. Like, I was at the Bristol race watching. The pole sitter's at a 15.0. 10th place might be at a 15.6. Like, there's a huge drop off. And it's not based off of skill or equipment. Like, some people just simply might be, you know, their Q trim might just simply not be as good as others. Like, I qualified 13th this past weekend, and I was 900ths off of the pole speed. And I just think that it's so hard to, like be a standout in late model stock car racing right now, especially in the car store. So that's why I feel like just the grind and the competition every week is what gets you prepared.
What I've heard, Jefferson Hodges, a good friend of mine, he's been on Dale Jr. Download. He's a team manager at Penske, but he was like employee number one of Junior Motorsports late model team. And he said, and I wonder how you'd echo this, it would piss him off a little bit because they'd go to the racetrack and people are like, oh yeah, it must be nice. You got Junior's car. Oh yeah, it must be easy. And he's like, no, we were working our ass off. They didn't give us anything more. Is there a misconception around having that ride that you should just win every race?
I would say, I tell everybody that I have the hardest job in late model stock car racing, because everybody expects the car to win every single race, and just like everybody thinks of, for example, Josh Berry and Carson Quapple. Like, you think those two names, you think success in late model stock car racing. They also didn't realize that Josh was a veteran of late model stock car racing for 10 years. Nobody saw the first 5 to 6 years where, you know, when he'd go to Motor Mile and it was just him and his buddies and they would win 1 or 2 races a year. You know, everybody remembers the Josh Berry that would win half the car store schedule.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think that my time at Junior Motorsports has taught me like so much. Like, I came in thinking that I could only learn more necessarily about the cars. Like, I had run this race, I've run all the races, I've done this and that. But just, like, you truly learn different things in every different situation you're in. And it really, really made me realize that, like, those days where Josh was beating me and I was running second to Josh, honestly, I was probably I wasn't doing the right things that he was. And that's the number one thing that this opportunity has taught me, is how to prepare better, whether it's the car for the race to me. Like, the reason why they're winning is because they take it to all the way to the 1 yard line. They don't stop at the 5.
Oh yeah.
I remember going to Martinsville with Brandon McReynolds rolling through tech, and we didn't have something in our tech box, and I asked one of the guys, some random guy, I was like, hey, do you have a 9/16 wrench? He goes, oh, Larry Mack can't afford tools? You need one of my tools? I was like, damn it, this is brutal.
Yeah.
But I could imagine that's what you go through.
So you said your second car store points. How many more races to go?
2.
So this Thursday's car store race?
Friday, Saturday at Tri-County.
Okay.
Yeah, Thursday's kickball, dude.
Yeah, I know. And then where else?
Wilkesboro.
Okay.
Oh.
Who's leading points?
Lane and Lewis.
Can you get them? You close?
The weekend at Sobo kind of put a little hole in that.
Well, you need a playoff
parachute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we basically had one. I mean, I'll give him and I credit on one thing. We've kept it. We've swapped the lead like 4 or 5 times this whole year, so it's been super tight. And Like going into the last two races, for example, we were a 1 point spread, once my way, once his way. So just a wreck at Sobo cost me some points and some other things that went on. So got to make up.
Well, good luck to you finishing out the year strong. Hopefully something goes back in your way. Before you leave, I got 3 questions for you.
All right.
If you had to pick one car and one racetrack to race out the rest of your life, what do you go with?
Lamos Stocks, Martinsville.
Okay.
Okay. Simple enough.
Odds are you'd win one of those.
Yep.
I'd hate to think.
Yep. Well, I can win 1 out of 365 days a year at least.
Yeah. Question number 2, what's the most embarrassed you've ever been at the racetrack?
Oh, wow. There's a bunch, but the one that comes right off the top of my head is I was fighting for a Legends Car championship, and I'd won like X amount of races that year, like pretty much made it mathematically really, really, really favorable for myself to win. Like I just had to go out there and run like 12th. And it was the last race of the year at Langley Speedway, and it was an INEX national qualifier, so we got a bunch of extra cars in. And I got to messing around with the leader, just could not realize that if I ran second, I would have won no problem. Well, I go out there and me and him go wrecking. I come tearing back to the field. I finished 13th, lost by 1 point. And my dad, sorry Earl, my dad sat me down on the cooler beside the pit box and chewed me out in front of a crowd like I've never been chewed out in my entire life. And ever since then, I realized you got to win the battle to win the war.
That's what you did this week. Won the war.
Yep.
Won the War of Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
I believe Ulysses S. Grant would have been proud of that.
How old are you?
28.
You think he'll get it? It's like on the cusp. You ever seen Men in Black?
Not a big TV guy.
No. All right. Well,
they have TVs there on the
there's a pen,
Virginia shore.
There's a pen in Men in Black where when Will Smith clicks it, it zaps your memory. So if I had that pen and I got to zap all your memories, but you only got to keep one racing memory specifically, what do you keep?
Probably the first national title, because it was way more, like, going into that last night, like.
Where was the race?
Langley Speedway.
Okay.
Just kind of just like the euphoria of it, like just thinking about it, like my hair's kind of standing up a little bit, just because like I grew up not like I didn't grow up like struggling, but like I grew up like one motor, one car, like. We were never gonna make it to the we never ran Martinsville, we never ran the Triple Crown races because we couldn't afford to wreck it. So like to be able to like fast forward 5-6 years later and be like, holy cow, like I won 20 races this year, like I won more races in 1 year than I ever got to run.
Yeah.
Before those people and partners stepped up to help me like that.
That's awesome, man. Awesome. Well, how do people follow along your journey?
Everything I think social media wise is just Connor Hall Web or just Connor Hall.
Cool. And be on the lookout for hopefully some cool announcements coming up.
Maybe
not. Awesome. Maybe we can break that out in the next couple weeks when that comes out. But Connor Hall, guys, go follow him on social media. Thanks for joining us on Stacking Pennies. More coming up right after this.
Make sure you like, rate, share, review. Not just for us, but for our friends over here that edit this show until about 9 o'clock at night.
Yep.
All for your enjoyment and your pleasure.
They're the real ones. And y'all are the real ones for spending your afternoons, mornings, wherever you listen to us. We appreciate you guys stacking pennies, and keep doing it. Keep doing those details right. Each and every day, get you where you want to go. Corey LaJoie here alongside Ryan Flores. Have a fantastic week. Kickball Classic on Thursday, guys. NASCAR's YouTube channel or in person, 6 p.m. Thursday night, October 2nd. Bye.